Hello and welcome to my July 23rd update for my GTNH playthrough. We are back in my ore processing plant. Main reason is just show you how I started my day. I can't go one day without updating the passive processing at least a little. In this case specifically, set up a quick thing for mercury, nothing too crazy here. Put some redstone into here, get some mercury out. You also end up getting ruby dust, pyrite, and raw silicone. None of those really matter for me at the moment, but we do need the mercury for everything else that we got done today. I will say that this did completely drain my redstone dust, so I may need a second redstone bee and or just leave it and wait for that guy to completely fill up, because it shouldn't. Once it does fill up, it shouldn't be a big deal. I don't think I'll drain fast enough to have to worry about my redstone supply being impacted. But got 40,000 ruby dust. Woot. This guy right now is currently sitting at just under 7 million. It started off mainly because I had 2 full super tanks already of mercury. So basically, way back in my MV base, I would use my redstone in the centrifuge to get out ruby dust for everything you need ruby for. Can't remember exactly what I was pulling out of the ruby. Maybe lithium? Let me check real quick. Ruby dust. It's been a while since I've had to do this. Or was using it, I should say. See, electrolyze it. Alumina. Oh, I was using it to create chrome. That's right. So that was just my quick way to get it. I would throw it through the centrifuge, throw it in an electrolyzer, and boom, I got some chrome and some other product. Plus, I had like basically iron for days. I will say, I did force myself to not go on another side quest before getting to the main point of today, and that's because I have 0 lithium dust still. Those 2 lithium bees I set up, they are not keeping up with my demand for the phthalic acid over here. On top of that, so I did throw an extra CBD super tank in right here, because this guy over here is now back at 4 million because I'm not really running much, and I think this thing is off. Yeah, I don't actually know why it's not currently running, in all honesty. It should have material. Why? What is going on here? Tungsten. Whatever. I'll come back and troubleshoot this later, because this IV power draw over here, it's too much for my system to handle. I was trying to run it, and I realized while I was trying to craft more alloys that I had run out of power, and this machine over here was stalling. The side quest I was tempted to get into was to basically get alloy box on passive, so I would just have like a couple stacks of them at all time, or I didn't know if I wanted to go to the 4,000, since I don't know if I'll ever use that many, maybe, or just like a single stack. That way I just always had them in the background, and setting up a second assembly machine with honey in it for the other pieces. I probably still will either do that tonight or tomorrow, because that sounds really nice, because I'm constantly setting up new bees. I mean, as it stands right now, I would like to get a bunch more lithium bees, another redstone bee, at least till my mercury situation's all filled up there. But that's what's going on over here. The main show, though, is over here. So you can see a bunch of different LCRs. This is my epoxid sheet line. And I'm real excited I finally got this guy set up, because I've been saying for like a week and a half that I wanted to start making progress. And this guy is the basis for moving on in the quest book. So we got this sheet right here, which will then allow us to set up these 2 different circuit boards. So like I said, that's real nice to have that set up. Basically, it was cool. So I will say, I know I can wall share these guys, but honestly, these blocks aren't that big of a deal. If I use a few extra, it's just kind of convenient to get it all set up this way. And now I'm realizing I broke a block and never put it in. Where's my... This needs to be connected. So, that was kind of funny that I forgot to put that in, because this is one of the methods I had to do. So on the two, they're in this processing chain, like I needed 5 LCR chemical reactions for it basically. And to get there, I had to set up a couple little things. So one of the main ones was setting up a pattern for this quadruple input hatch, which is so very, very convenient. Jumping around, but you know, like some of these recipes take 4 liquids instead of doing a bunch of input hatches. You can simply do 1 export bus onto these guys, get everything I need, and good to go. 2 of the recipes, however, need sodium hydroxide dust, which I'm actually not sure. It's crazy that we're out of that. I'm gonna have to investigate that, because I would have expected to be keeping up just fine on that. So add that to the list of things to fix tonight. But so basically my solution to not run out of channels was I use a dual interface. That way I can do both liquids and items. Now I was very confused for a little while, because as you can see, you can click on this guy and then you get all your directions on the cube of where to pull liquid from. However, if you do not click this guy over here, change it to sided mode, it'll just pull the first liquid no matter which side you got the pump on. So that was causing me problems. I ended up figuring out just by using my eyes, but originally I thought I was going to have to cave and use 2 different channels on this. And I am running out of channels over here. Pressing the wrong button. See, I had to pull a separate line just to finish this line off over here. But this line over here has 8. So with all these different LCRs, got a few different side products. Now technically, when you're looking at this, you can see there's kind of a loop going on, because to go into this one, for example, we need water. Eventually down here we get water out. On this chemical reaction, you probably set up some sort of loop, but honestly I figured it would probably just be simpler and more scalable later to not worry about the loop shenanigans. Instead, put everything into the system, into the super tanks, and then just put in the liquids I need for each reaction. That might not always be the best solution, but I figured it would be here. Then out here we got our thing of epoxid coming down into a fluid solidifier. Right now it's just making me a ton of sheets. I don't mind doing 4,000 of these, because they're going to be the basis of my circuits for a while, as far as I can tell. Basis of 2 different types of circuits for a while, so having a ton of these just on hand will probably be a good time saver. The other thing I did is started implementing more dual interfaces where needed. So as an example of my old way I would do some of these autocrafts is, this tank's actually empty, but basically I would go set up somewhere, in this case molten glass, and then just throw it all in a tank, put it below, and just assume it'll be a while till I run out. So I have a couple of these, like for example on the tier 3 one, or circuit 3 assembler, a lot of these need molten polyethylene, so I had done the same thing. Now what I got going on instead is I put on the dual interface, have molten polyethylene coming down. You just have to throw a pump on this machine as well to pull the molten polyethylene out of that, because this is not an export bus, and that's all set up. So that's cool. Means I will go around. I know I have more like this molten glass. This will be on the list of things to fix as well. Then that was pretty much it for today. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've like made genuine progress in the quest book, started pushing forward. So we got this. One thing that was kind of weird, so I did make sure as I set up each of these LCRs, I knocked out each of these quests, held the liquid, and just put it back in the super tank. But even with all these guys completed, and you can see I completed them, when I completed this guy, it activated some sort of skip. It said epoxid skip implemented, but I'm not sure, in all honesty, what it actually skipped. But, I don't know. Mystery for another day. So like I said, I'm gonna work on fixing up those little items, and I don't know, it was a fun day, especially getting back to this stuff. But, so, yeah, that should be it for today. Hope everybody has a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.